This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
It's the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast.
We're old school, right? We wash our own dirty laundry.
The name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back.
I refuse to be judged by a grown man wearing a hockey jersey.
Game on!
Game on!
We are back with another episode of the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast, episode number 93. Wade Hampton, Paul Rank with me, DocNoyes. For anybody that doesn't know that name, I always introduce everybody else but never use my own name. So anybody that has hears me for the first time or sees posts, now they understand what that is. How we doing, gentlemen?
Doing well.
The playoffs are on in the background. Florida is walking all over Carolina at this point. Even had a called back goal. So Carolina's really pissed, but down 3-0.
4 now.
Is it 4? Jeez. My phone had even updated fast enough. Got a lot of good things to touch on and some other just fun things to talk about and some updates for upcoming things here in a minute. Start out with the drink of the day. Of course, my old fashioned. The bourbon in it this show, been a long day, is George Dickel Single Barrel 15 Year. Picked it up at one local liquor stores I go to. I know you can get that around other liquor stores, but it is 15 years. It is very, very good. So cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wade with his Dr. Pepper, which congratulations to Dr. Pepper. They are now number 2 bought soda in popularity behind Coke.
I'm really glad I'm helping that.
Yes, I think you may be single-handedly doing it. So congratulations to Dr. Pepper and whatever Paul's currently drinking. Probably water.
Just water.
Thank you to Mitch for being the sponsor for the Drink Your Face Off line of barware and clothing. Reach out to him. I know you don't need any hoodies right now for the summer, but it's always good to stock up. Heck, right now it's chilly enough. I'd actually throw a hoodie on here today. After late last week, so we did the show last Thursday, and then I was headed to St. Louis Friday. Wade's aware of some of this, and of course was down close to it, but had I had timed my driving to St. Louis a little bit different, I would have been directly in the tornado, either in St. Louis or north of St. Louis. But for anybody that didn't hear, and it's all over the news anyway, city of St. Louis was hit by a tornado. Forest Park area where Paul and Monica, we actually took them to the zoo while they were down for the expo in April, the Frozen 4 Expo. So you saw all that area, and now it looks like somebody dropped a bomb on it. Yeah. The number of trees ripped out of the ground from that tornado, which was an F3, 150 mile an hour plus winds, was insane. And the fact that when where I had gone to dinner was a little bit farther away on the hill, the Italian area, the GPS took me right through it. I don't know how the park, they even were letting cars drive through it, because that's how just devastating it was. Several lives were lost. By the time you hear this, the St. Louis Blues fundraising auction for that will be over, but I know the Red Cross is still taking donations. The Blues players that are still in St. Louis and that have been helping. The team has been doing things, but it is a mess. If you're interested in kind of want to see some of what happened, I actually ran across today. YouTube actually had a video. They compiled a bunch of different videos people had shot from the tornado, either showing it coming, they were in the middle of it, whatever, and it is insane to see. So hopefully, and just all the tornadoes that have been around, but that was on the ground for almost 25 miles. It dropped there right in Forest Park area and then went across the Mississippi and everything. I mean, it was insane. Some of the craziest videos, and Paul, it's going to make you weak-kneed just sitting there, as there's actually a video out. I'll try and find it, send it to you if you have not seen it. But people up in the arch at the time, and one person's videoing it, and you can tell how much the arch is rocking back and forth.
Wow.
And I mean, you can see it in the distance in the photos. It is insane. So again, a kind of a sad situation, but I'm glad the Blues and others have stepped up down there and Just absolutely crazy. The forums, we got a lot of very positive feedback, I'd say, after we announced that in last week's show when it came out. And I got several messages. I hope you and Wade got some as well. The excitement about forums coming back and things. We have actually hit 50 users. I checked that just before we came on to record this. As a reminder, because Paul and I can see the admin side of things. If you sign up, make sure you are checking your spam if it doesn't come in your main email, because you do have to confirm your email address. There's about 5 people listed who have not done that. So please, if you're trying to get in the forum, if you signed up but you're having problems, go check that first. Or if you have issues getting in, shoot us, Paul or I, a message. We can help you with that. We are still trying to sort out the
Avatar.
I can never remember that word now. So you can put your picture stuff up. Had a couple people ask me today on that, and I said we're trying to get that tweaked. So there'll be some growing pains, but please get out there. But 50 in a week, that's awesome.
With basically just being discussed on the show. We haven't started promoting it on Facebook or Discord or Reddit yet. We'll probably wait a week or two to do that. Still trying to get a few other things worked out. We're going to keep tweaking the categories and stuff we have there. It's a moving target.
Yeah,
so,
and if you have not, if you've joined already and looked at it, or you see things, create a post or shoot us a message. Hey, have you guys thought about this? Or I was thinking maybe this. Creative ideas and stuff like that. Bring them, because we may tweak things or add categories or adjust stuff, because I mean, definitely want to make this fun for everybody.
So a few things I should add to it. When you do sign up, you get the email that you have to respond to. A few people, it's gone into their spam folders. If that does, if you don't see it and you can't find it in your spam folder, contact Doc or myself, and we can go ahead and do the authentication for you, especially, if we know you, because some of the names we saw of people who have not responded yet, we know fairly well.
Yes.
So we'll take care of that. The other thing, when you start posting or commenting, your first 3 posts or comments have to be approved by us. And that's a feature we chose on it, and it basically stops initial spamming. Like if a bad actor gets in and spams everything, we will start deleting those posts. You will never see them on the outside. But once you get your 3 posts or 3 comments approved, you're free to post away without us interfering. Of course, still follow common sense rules and stuff with what you're posting. Otherwise we'll send Wade to your house, I guess. But we
that.
yes. But yeah, we just have to make the first 3 approvals, so it's not instant. And I check multiple times a day. I think Doc does too.
Yep.
So we're trying to get this going as quickly as can. And Wade's going to be a moderator too, so he will have the ability to approve.
I'm just not that smart to get it started.
We'll get you there. It is phone friendly as well. If anybody has tried to do stuff on their phone or maybe unsure, it is phone friendly. Adjusts very nicely and easy to read on your phone. If you want to type a long post, I know it'll be a little bit of a pain, but it does. If you just want to check on things or make quick comments, you can do that from your phone with no issues.
Perfect.
Good point. We're really excited about this project, hoping it takes off. We're really happy with the first week.
Yeah.
And we have, once this gets going and self-sufficient, we have other stuff in the pipeline we'll be putting on the Dirty Laundry website. So,
yes.
It's been pretty neat to see the reaction to it. I think all of us have been like, it's cool to see people. I think a lot of people are harkening back to the olden days with it. And I think it, as I've said to people in conversation, I think it allows for another source for information, and it allows people. There's a lot of people that don't like Facebook. Let's just face it. There's a lot of people that don't like other things, and I think it gives another place to enjoy the hobby. So
right, and as we said last week too, it's not a knock on Reddit. It's not a knock on Facebook. It's not a knock on any other platform you're using, Discord, whatever, to do this stuff. It's just another tool in the toolbox, and kind of we've gone retro. I mean, you
Yeah.
think about so many of us who I say grew up on the forums, but spent many a year there connecting with people, making friends, things like that. And now you can kind of get to relive that a little bit. And it's not a in your face all the time, because I know some people don't or can't be on Facebook and stuff like that, but you get more reasonable notifications with the forum and that over than having things in your face all the time. You still have the ability to send private messages in the forum and things like that. So you do still have a lot of tools, but it's only going to get better. And we want all of you, even if you're like, I don't know if I should start a new post, do it. I mean, ask basic questions, do whatever. We want to make this fun and make this about the collector.
Yep, I agree.
Couple upcoming expos. My Gray Expo is July the 12th. So if you're debating about that, still get flights and stuff, get that one sorted out. That is on my eventual bucket list to get out and do that one. I know Wade's is as well. We have some news, don't we, Wade, for your expo coming in October?
Yeah, some big news. Was reached out to by Golden Auctions. They are going to be a corporate sponsor for the event this year. Golden is very renowned for their. I mean, they have a TV show. I mean, they're kind of everywhere. Ken Golden is an icon of our hobby. He's been around forever, doing everything. And I have some friends over there, and they showed an interest in being a part of the event, and we got some details worked out. And I was really excited this week to announce that they're going to be a part of it. I think that's a big, I think that's a big step. I mean, they're huge in cards and huge in everything, like honestly, but I think it demonstrates their interest and willingness to be involved in the game used and jersey collecting and stuff. So it was a nice addition for us. That doesn't mean that other auction houses and other vendors aren't welcome. It's just another table in the room, but it gives people options, and I think it presents consignment options to people that maybe it's going to bring in some new traffic. I think people that collect maybe some other stuff that maybe aren't necessarily totally tied to game worn hockey jerseys. But that's always been the goal of our show, is to make it more than just one thing. I've reached out to a few people who do football stuff. I'd love to get some more football in the room. And obviously we have a lot of baseball stuff with the Cardinals in St. Louis. As I've said before at other events, and I mean, you see it at the Nova. There's guys that have football. There's guys that have other stuff. This is a collecting niche that all of us should welcome all the different stuff that people collect. Because I can tell you that from my personal experience, there's nothing cooler than being in a room and seeing stuff that maybe isn't the stuff I collect, but seeing it and getting your hands on it, it's the same. And I like to give those people that collect maybe some stuff I don't collect the same opportunity that we have to have a meeting place and an opportunity to come together. So I'm really excited to have Golden on board. I think they're going to really bring a nice presence to the show and some more traffic. And I'm hopeful and looking forward to hearing from some other vendor guests as well. And another piece of news that Doc should be very excited about. We did announce our first autograph guest of the show, and that is Doc's friend and supporter of the hobby, Mike McKenna, is going to be there.
And past alumni of the show,
correct?
Past guest of the show.
Yeah, he's gonna be at the show on. I think I announced Sunday he's gonna come. I'm working on a few other guests. I don't know exactly who's gonna come yet. I think a lot of people know that I'm friends with Reed Lowe, former St. Louis Blue, and Reed and I are talking about getting some guys together and some more people. And I'm excited. We're probably gonna have my guests is at least 3 or 4 guests this year. And we're just growing it. I'm trying to I'd like to find a good baseball guest as well for my baseball guys. Any suggestions, or if anybody represents somebody and they're interested in, tying into the show and bringing somebody, or if you know of a former player who might be interested in making an appearance, please reach out to me or Doc, or let us know, because like again, I'm just trying to grow the show and find more ways to get people to come.
And it's fun because we'll have we always do all the guests, the signing guests. We get them on the show to ask them what they think about walking in the room and things like that. I'll be excited to have Mike back on, and because
Yeah.
he's seen we've done alumni stuff here in Springfield for the Springfield Junior Blues that he's played for, so he's seen my display with what I have, and of course he knows what he's given me as far as gear and that. But being able to see some of the other piece of Blues history, because he's a big goalie guy. He grew up admiring Blues goalies and that, and appreciating that stuff. So getting to see some of that history and be able to ask some of those questions when you're in the room around historical objects is just fun. And to get those guys' reactions who, yeah, maybe they've done a card show and that kind of stuff, but seeing just the volume of jerseys that sits in that room is insane.
It's such a different thing. I think the one thing I try to present to our signers is, the one thing I don't do, and pardon my French, but I don't murder them in the back room and have them sign 1,000 things, right? I invite them to come and be a guest of the day, not just an autograph guest who sits in the back and signs 1,000 pieces, right? It's my goal with the signers isn't necessarily to have them as a signer, it's just to have them as a guest. It's to have them, hey, they're going to sit at a table, they're going to do a meet and greet, they're going to sign some autographs for you. But realistically, the one thing I love more than anything else, and I do with them, Doc will tell you, is I usually end up walking most of them through the room. The thing that always cracks me up though is at some point I usually find them walking around on their own, right? Or interacting with somebody. So like that part to me makes it really fun in the sense that I like to see their thoughts on it, but then whenever you see them get like interested in looking around, really is fun. So that's another one of the little niches that I think our shows bring, that maybe like I've been in the hobby a long time, and rarely do you see a guest at a baseball card show walking around the show, or an autograph show. So pretty neat, a lot of fun. Excited to be hosting again. I can tell you that I think that the October show really rejuvenated my interest in doing it. I had a lot of fun with the October with the Frozen
April.
Four. Yep. Yeah, it made me really get kind of rejuvenated on the October event. So please, I mean, I know we say this all the time. If you're even thinking about coming out or whatever, just call me. Like, let's talk about it. If you are or a vendor or a dealer or a collector from out of the area, like I promise we will make this easy for you and we'll make it fun. So
that's even from a cost perspective, I'll tell you a little story, because I always check the hotel that Wade has for this is awesome, as Paul can say as well. It's a beautiful place. They have a nice lobby bar. We sat the Friday night or Saturday night, whatever it was. Yeah, Friday night we sat there and just had a drink and chilled and talked and stuff. But even the pricing you get with the expo is when coming up to the Frozen 4 auction, Frozen 4 Expo, excuse me. I just checked, I was curious, checked the hotel's website to see what they were charging. They were charging over double what rate you got for the rooms. And I mean, just stuff like that is you've made a good connection with them. It is a great environment. I don't think I've heard anybody complain about the rooms or anything about it. It's always funny every time. Both it actually happened in April and in October. There's always a lot of sport events for high school or college kids going on, and are always staying there. But the number of coaches or parents that end up walking in the room or bringing their kids to show them stuff is insane.
It's a lot of fun. And I mean, here, and I say this, and I don't know if I should say this, but like, I don't try to make any money on this. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to say, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. Like, I literally, like, I hate to say it, but like, I literally have like a break point where I'm like, okay, this is okay. Like obviously I like to get the expenses all covered and whatever, but like from day one, that this has never been about me making money. right? It's been about the hobby. It's been about the experience. It's been about the people. I don't know if I'm not trying to I'm not trying to act like it's not important because it is, because God knows I don't want to lose money, but in the same sense, um,
As
I
long
try
as
to
you're
make,
breaking even, you're doing
yeah, I
good.
try to make it affordable. That's one of the reasons I try to make sure the rooms are super cheap, and that's why I keep the table costs super low. And like I dare anybody to find a 2-day show where you can get a table for under $100, right? Like I know this last show, I think I ended up like trying to discount all the tables even more so than I had already announced because I just wanted to make it more affordable, right? Because like I don't really, I mean, like honestly, I'd rather give people free tables and have the room full and have more stuff in there. God, don't hit me up on that, anybody. But like I mean, like realistically, I would. I'd rather like hook people up the tables and have more stuff and more people and more fun than I'm worried about making money at it. So like if you're thinking about it and there's a cost thing, like we'll figure it out. Like the famous words of the hobby, we'll figure it out.
Right.
But
Too often.
yeah, but no, like please consider coming. And I'm done with my like pitch to do
And Paul being from out of town and now being there to know what the hotel is like and how close it is to St. Louis. As you hear, well, Collinsville's in Illinois. It's less than 20 minutes to Enterprise Center.
You can see the arch from the hotel.
Yes. The very tall, the very skinny, the very tight arch that Paul loves so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
So no, I mean, but like I mean, yeah. I mean, if you don't come to mine, go to Migray. Like I'm trying to work out with work getting to Migray this year. That's been on my bucket list again to get to that one. I always try to get to Nova. Um, you know, uh, just get out and do something. We say that all the time, but if you're in Nashville or if you're in Chicago or you're like, there's nothing else that we do and that I promote that's similar that's close, right? I mean, I think the closest one is if they do it in Colorado when that one happens. Beyond that, you're catching a flight or you're going all the way to the East Coast or the West Coast. So if you're 5 or 6 hours away and you can get in a car and make it, come have a good time.
The number of people I reach out to that I know that are just into the blues and stuff that don't even have jerseys, like, dude, just come and see the
No
history
kidding.
and the things in this room. And it's so cool. The other piece, real quick, to go back before we wrap this piece up, is you mentioned taking the signers around the room and showing them stuff off. The other thing that I enjoy, especially because the autograph table's up front there, and then we've got our podcast table next to it, is just sitting there listening to the people coming up to get autographs and telling a story. Oh yeah, I saw you play this, or asking questions or whatever. It's not just, hey, would you sign this picture or this card?
Yeah.
They're talking and telling stories, or they ask them, hey, what was your favorite thing you did? And just hearing those things. It's so cool that it's not just a, oh, yep, okay, who do you want this signed to, and move
Yeah.
on. It's so much more interactive.
We try to make it that way because that's one of the things that I like about the way we do it is it's not a cow line, they're not just milking the cow and passing you down to the next stall, right? Like we try to make it where people have that time and that interaction with the player. I think that's the part of the fun, right? Like you can watch on all the YouTube videos and on everything where like big signings, these guys like, they got 5 people ushering you up, throwing your stuff down, you sign and you're gone within a second. You get no time. To me, that kind of sucks. Like, if the players are into it and the fans want to do it, like the people like come and hang out a little bit. The
Yeah.
funny part is most of the time those guys will end up sitting around and shooting the breeze for a little bit at the end. And there's been a couple of guys I've tried to get out of there because they wanted to stay.
They're supposed to be on to doing something else.
Yeah,
and
like
yeah.
So, yeah, thank you. I appreciate your support.
But yeah, and it's so exciting to see Golden and see Mike, and then you working on the other deals to get this stuff. And I know Mike will be excited, and again, him knowing he's not just a local player who spent time with a lot of different NHL, AHL teams, but he's also a collector. So he'll be excited to see and talk to other collectors, and I can't wait to see all those interactions. So
Oh yeah,
I'm already excited for October.
I've already got a stack of cards for you. Don't worry.
Right. Paul, the World Championships are going on right now.
Yes, they
and a
are.
surprise today for sure.
Oh yeah, it's well, everyone by now knows Canada lost to shockingly Denmark today in the quarterfinals. I forget the keeper's name. He just stood on his head for Denmark, and it's I'll happily cheer against them. I think Denmark plays Switzerland on Saturday. We're recording on. That's right. Today's Thursday. Games were this morning. We're recording Thursday. Push this out on Friday, and then the U.S. gets to play Sweden, which I actually thought they looked really good. The U.S. today against Finland. Being in the U.S., I did not get to see the Sweden play a game today because we only got the U.S. and Canada games. We didn't have an option, at least on NHL Network or something, to see the other two games.
Frederick Dykau is was the goalie for them.
Yeah.
Only let in one goal. 2-1 was the final.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Now, I haven't seen anything anywhere. I was trying to kind of dig it up and couldn't. Do we know if or when those will be sold, or who handles that? Or do individual teams in this in the World Hockey Championships kind of do it?
I think it's individual teams. Sweden, I know, usually auctions them off. I think Finland auctions them off too.
Really?
Canada, I thought it was similar to like the World Juniors, where they do an auction where you get a jersey from that player and you don't know what you're bidding on. At least for the World Juniors. I can't remember if the World Championships are like that. And I know in the past, my Grays gotten a set from the World Championships and auctioned those off. So I haven't heard, if they're doing it this year, but I would
And if
assume
anybody
so.
knows that, feel free to pass along. We'll mention it next week.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely interesting games to watch.
Yeah,
Oh
sure.
yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I went to over 10 years ago now. Went to some of the games in Sweden and ages ago. It's just so much fun and great hockey, friendly crowds. It's just a good time. So
Awesome.
I did come across, and I don't know if anybody else has seen this in there. You know how well Facebook is good at tailoring ads to you, and that came across a website. At first, I was like, okay, the ads kind of look maybe a little shady, but I checked into it, and it looked solid. Matchwornshirt.com. For anybody that's not familiar with that, or maybe has seen the ads, they cover all sports. They do it in both English, break down that currency, but it is they have 300 football clubs and others throughout. And I'm going to screw this up because we were talking about it earlier. Now I've lost my train of thought on it. Was it Finland or was it? Let's see.
Sweden.
Sweden.
had
Thank
some.
you.
Yeah.
Like right now, they have, and it ends in 9 days. They have the men's world championships worn or issued jerseys with 9 days to go. And I really appreciate their documentation on it. These are the, and actually I'll real quick here while I'm rambling. I should have had these pulled up already.
Yeah, they have, if I remember right, that is Zabinajad. And that was a one-game wonder, I think, against, was it Austria, where he had 2 goals? I don't have it live here
But
right
yes,
now.
that's one of the things that caught my attention, and I really like
nice.
that, is they tell you the statistics on the jersey. Let me...
Oh, they have field hockey jerseys too. Sorry, I'm just pulling it up right now.
Nope, you're good. I just was going to share the screen so people could see a little bit of this. But this, again, I don't know anything about it. I have not bought from them. If somebody has, again, let me know. We love to get that, but this is showing some of them here. The Zabinajad, the Raymond, Forsberg, Leo Carlson, tells you how much time is left. And I love the fact that it reads that I'm in the U.S., so it puts what the cost is there. I don't know what shipping in that costs, but if you go into the jersey, so they partner with Swedish ice hockey, talks about how it's authenticated.
Shipping's included.
Yep, estimated shipping costs on this $33.84.
This is a high bidder there, Doc. You're a high bidder on the Zabanja?
No. We'll talk about why here in a few minutes. And I love the fact it says worn following matches, 2025 Men's World Championships in Stockholm versus Australia, 10/5/2025, authenticated. When it will estimated delivery. And I love this too. Will automatically combine up to 3 products for shipping and waive the shipping fee for eligible second and third orders, provided they are paid together. That is really good documentation, and it says where the money goes to help cover Swedish youth hockey and other things. This is kind of interesting, and I hadn't really read. I stumbled across this site, but hadn't researched it as much as I should have beforehand. But this authentication, powered by an NFC chip, the most advanced technology in memorabilia fabrics, 100% guarantees and protects the identity of your product, ensuring that it will forever hold a place in sporting history. And then you can click on to get more information. I like that. So that is a site to check out. Again, it showed up on a random Facebook ad, which usually those are garbage, but glad to see that. But they've got a decent amount. Some you've got less big names, but even just as you're scrolling through them, it tells you, okay, assist, goal scorer, and an assist. I mean, some of these are still in the $200 or under range, depending on who it is. So, cool. Yeah, and they're beautiful looking jerseys too.
I agree.
So I also want to get back to Canada quickly.
Yes.
You were asking about how they're doing. The auction just opened today, Thursday.
Really?
So I put the link in our group chat if you want to, if you two want to look at it as we talk a little bit about it.
And then real quick, the website is can.givergy, GIVERGY.com.
And once again, I mean, let me read a description to you. You're bidding on a Marc-Andre Fleury Game Worn Team Canada red, white, or black jersey, size 58G, worn during the blah, blah, blah in Stockholm, Sweden, and Denmark. So you don't know which one you're bidding on at this point. And so this is similar to the World Juniors.
Interesting.
Yes.
I guess that's a question for you two is, in a case like this, does it matter, or are you okay with bidding this way, or do you have to you want to know what jersey's coming when you're placing a bid? Wade, what do you think?
I mean, honestly, it's kind of scary. I mean, it depends. It just depends. Because, like, it depends on if they wore all three. Like, in this case, if they wore all of them, right? I mean, obviously, there'd probably be a game you would prefer versus another game. But if you player collect or whatever, I mean, I could see it going both ways, right? I mean, I could see being interested in just getting the jersey, but I think they would probably get more bids if they were specific with what they are. But I think on the other end of that, they probably say, well, we might get less if it's a bad game.
But here's a question real quick with that, Paul, too.
In our day and age, people like to know what they're getting. I guess that's the...
Because somebody may have a hat trick in a game and you're really hoping for that one, and you end up with an issued one where they didn't even use it. But if they're auctioning off all three, do they take, and it doesn't say in there, at least the areas I was trying to dig up quickly, do they take the top 3 bidders and you each get one, or what are they doing with the other 2? Because all the jerseys are either going to be used, or you'll have maybe 2 used and 1 issued. What do they do with the other one? if you just randomly get one.
Yeah, I mean, maybe do the players keep them?
Well, and you're also assuming that the jerseys, they're only wearing these three jerseys, that they're not
Right.
wearing two sets, or they're not one game wonders or something. I mean,
Yeah.
I do wish, Team Canada does this all the time. My guess is they had planned to have this opening today. They were expect them to be in the gold medal game on Sunday. Not
Yeah.
going to happen. I mean, that takes away two games from the sets right there. You don't have the semifinals and then the championship / consolation game. Um, but yeah,
And
I've only seen them sell the one, and I have no idea what happens to the other jerseys, colors, and or if there's additional ones. So,
and for the deep pockets, or Celebrini is playing, so that is in there.
and that is currently at $1,050. Currently being won by Dominic Frappier.
Yeah, it's got name. That's a little weird, isn't it?
And I've been on, I think the USA ones use this similar platform where you can choose to either post as anonymous or put your name. And I think some people miss the anonymous part.
Yeah.
But there's Adam. You've
There
got
was,
Adam
I guess,
Fantilli.
the Canadians, the Montreal one on Tricol, that
Yes.
that like either put your name or anonymous.
Got couple Blues playing here. You got Braden Shen in there. You've got Jordan Binnington. So I mean, a good roster for sure. Be curious to see, but I may reach out, actually email them and ask what happens, or how does this work? Is if there's three, how does this thing work? Because if you have two other ones, do you then post those later, or do you offer them to other people, or do the player? Yeah, I just kind of like to know some of the back end stuff. So I may try and email them tomorrow and see. But no, another good catch, Paul. Thank you for finding that.
And Crosby's at 3,200 on the first day of bidding. It's
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, and these are Nike jerseys, so I'm allowed to bid. So
And Fleury's actually, I'm surprised with him being it for him, that it's not actually higher than Crosby.
Yeah, I mean, it's day one. Let's circle back. What they say, 5 days to go.
Yeah, we'll check back next week, see what they closed at.
Yeah, I mean, they opened at noon today. It's now 7:30, which I guess would be 10:30. So it's been open for 10 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we shall see.
Yes. And speaking of sales in general, a couple things. The Rockford Ice Hogs have announced their equipment / garage sale coming up Friday, June 13th and Saturday, June 14th. Again, you want to know where I got that information from? Forums.dirtylaundryhockey.com. Thanks to Sully for posting that out there, letting us know that was happening. So any of those kind of stuff, you get it, throw it in the forums so we see it, and that can be shared out. The other one coming up, we will be doing a show next Thursday night, but next Friday, Wade and I will be some of the first in line, probably the first in line, for the St. Louis Blues equipment auction. Much earlier. It was about 2.5, 3 weeks earlier than it was last year.
Are we challenging people to beat us there?
No, because you know how early I'll show up. But,
I hope it's not hot this year.
Yeah, it was. We had perfect weather last year, luckily enough. I was actually testing tonight before the recording this one, the portable podcast recording equipment, so we can try and do a little mini show or something from there. I won't be able to have it uploaded till probably Saturday, because the sale is 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. for season ticket holders next Friday, and then I guess I need to look for next Saturday. It's 10 to 4.
Yeah, usually is what
I think. It sounds bad. I never pay attention to the public one, because we're always at the season ticket holder side.
Yeah.
Let me see
man,
really quick.
So it's the plan. We're going to record Thursday evening. You're going to edit, upload the show, and then you're going to drive to the city.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much.
and camp out till 5 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
And
idiots.
we have a ball. I mean, we've
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about it at length, and I know we'll tell stories afterwards. But I would like to we'll interview some of the other people in line, and just
We're always excited about it until we're there for about 4 hours, and then I have to pee.
yeah, you've got to work the next day too.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's always, you know what, like you said, I look forward to it. I mean, you know, they rarely have jerseys there, so I'm not really like, I go for the camaraderie and maybe grabbing a thing or two that for somebody else. I usually end up buying more stuff for other people than I do for myself. I think last year you talked me into buying a pair of Ryan O'Reilly gloves last minute that you
Yes.
found. A big pile of nameplates that I shipped to about 10 different people around the country.
I think there's
And,
one behind Paul right there.
Yeah, and a
Thank you.
couple. I usually get the apparel is usually like if you. I mean, God, I mean, I wonder how many Blues t-shirts I have, but I probably, you know, you buy a bunch of apparel because usually there's some pretty good deals. Yeah, so it's fun. It's just
for the general public, it'll be Saturday, May 31st, 10 to 3.
Yeah.
Season ticket holders, like I said, 5 to 8 on Friday. And last year we walked in the door, and I think it may have been 5 for that one as well. And we stayed until 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
because we run into people and we find the stuff we want, kind of find a corner and just hang out. And then we run into people. And then it's like, hey, I'm going to go look at this. So the other person watches the stuff. And then we just rotate because sometimes they'll throw stuff out later or whatnot. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were there, and I think that was the funniest part last year, and it always is. Like you said, we'll be like, well, it's time to go, and then we're like, oh, we're gonna get out of here, and then it's like, well, I'm gonna take one more lap, and then like you come back, and then I'm like, oh, and then somebody will text me and be like, hey, do they have this? Or they'll text you and be like, oh, do you have this? I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go check for this. I'll be right back. Next thing you know, like we're the first ones in, the last ones to leave.
Right. But it makes it fun, and it's the people watching's fun. What other people are finding or looking for, and so we'll do our regular show next Thursday, and then I'll get up first thing Friday, drive up there, and get a place in line with Wade, and we'll get it sorted out. We usually bring folding chairs and just chill. We have a great time, and a number of people we met that we've never met before and talked to, and hey, why are you here? What you looking for? It's a blast. So you'll have extra coverage there. Hopefully the audio and stuff will turn out well with the portable equipment. But
and here before we get off the air, I'm gonna say this. Don't text me and ask me if they have Jordan Binnington jerseys. They don't. Right? They don't have a Dvorsky jersey. They don't have a Snuggerud jersey. Like don't ask. I'm not getting it for you. It's not happening. Right? Doc's not getting it for you. They're not there. The amount of like out of town funny messages, I like just don't. Like it's not happening.
In all fairness, I mean, most equipment sales have a bunch of jerseys. I mean, that's where the team sell a jersey, so it's kind of.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's just funny because like everybody always wants like a disc. It's just Doc and I always laugh because like they always do this in the start of the season, like preseason games and the first like week of the regular season. They always have like a rack of like training camp jerseys and stuff like that, and people are always like, "Hey, can you grab me the Snuggerud?" Or hey, would you grab the Dvorsky for me? They're $200. It's like, listen, they're not putting those out there, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but if they did, I'm buying them for me. Like, no. Like my answer is just no. Like
in the case of the Blues, and I mean it's totally on the level. Is they found that either doing some of the stuff to their Ringside Reserve page or their auctions are the best way to do their game jerseys. And I get that. And they've even in their press release stuff for the equipment sale next weekend, it says practice jerseys in the listing. So those are there. Yeah. And those are most likely will be all Adidas jerseys. Because I don't think they'll move any Fanatics ones yet.
But it's just funny. It is something I look forward to. I look forward to all the messages. So please, you can still message. If there's something you're looking for, Doc and I will do our best to help as always. You
I will
know,
text both of you a few times asking for Bianca Batuka jerseys, not
yeah,
Fanatics. So
Yeah, those are
no,
mostly Adidas, so you should be okay.
yeah, they got some cool. I mean, it's always cool stuff. I mean, like I said, for me, like I always end up finding like a good couple of good apparel deals as well. You
Yeah.
know, like quarter zips or t-shirts.
Or if you
Um,
missed a giveaway, a lot of times they
if
have
you missed a
some
giveaway,
leftover giveaway stuff.
absolutely. You know, there's always something to be found. The one thing that we always fail at that Paul succeeds at is Paul gets good pictures. Like
Right.
Doc and I are always like, oh, we're gonna get pictures, and then we go running in, and the excitement gets to us, and then I take pictures like at 7:50 when it's all empty. So,
Yeah,
and
we'll
you're
we'll
exhausted.
try and see what we can do a little bit better this time.
sure.
See if we can work it all out. But yeah, there'll be good coverage of that. We'll say we'll do a regular show, and actually, because we started recording late, so we may wrap this up here in a few. You would come up with a good suggestion, Wade, but I actually want to save it for next week, and we'll put the question out now, so people listening can either message us or comment on the posts wherever they see it. Is I know we're in the playoffs now, but soon they'll be over, or your team's out and you really just don't care about who's playing. What do you do to pass the time? Do you go hunt bourbons down? Do you go play hockey all year round like I do? What other things keep you busy, or are you inventorying your stuff in the summer, doing pictures? What do you do? Either do you still be deep in the hobby, or do you kind of take a step back and take a break? But message us those, or put those in the comments wherever you hear it, or on our Facebook page, or in the forums. I'll try to start a thing under the Dirty Laundry one, or comment on the main Dirty Laundry post. Let us know, because we'd love to share some of those, and just because I know some people kind of, once especially if their team's equipment sales or their auctions are done, there's not a lot to do. So we want to hear some of that, and we'll talk about that. Maybe pull some other people on to the show next week as well. But
It's a,
you had thought about, you had mentioned that it sounded like a great idea.
yeah, it's an interesting question because, like, you know, what do you like? What do you do? Like, a lot of people, you know, do you tone it down? Do you start collecting something else? There's so many questions. I'm interested to hear what other people do in their off season.
Yeah, we will definitely share those. But as we wrap this up, Paul, you got any final thoughts?
Not much. Just I'm hoping to have more time to spend working out some of the issues on the forums, getting a few other features up there. And well, actually, I'll be honest, I'm not enjoying the NHL playoffs.
Oh,
Yeah,
Just
it's
because of the teams that are in it?
yeah, I mean, in the East we have right now two games which were blowouts, and it's so you're probably looking at Florida in four, and then I will say the Dallas Edmonton game last night was good, and it's four teams I really could care less about. Edmonton's probably like the one I can tolerate the most. So but the AHL playoffs have been fun. So that's so
Who's still into the AHL ones?
Hershey lost. Who did they lose to? Drawing a blank on it too. Um, oh, Carolina's team.
yeah.
And then we have the other playoffs I'm looking at right now. Abbotsford is leading Colorado 2-1. Right now they're best of five. Milwaukee and Texas, and Rochester Americans, and whatever the Montreal farm team is. So
Well, I should probably know that, and I
I
don't.
can never remember. I'm not sure.
The Rockets. It's the
Yes, the Rockets. I can't pronounce the town name. I butcher the French. So, but yeah,
And
no,
the Blues still do have the Everblades in the East Coast
oh,
Hockey League playoffs.
yeah.
They are down 2-1 in that best of 7 right now. So their next game is tomorrow. Kansas City Mavericks are in there, along with the Tulsa Oilers and the Thunder, and the Tahoe Night Monsters are still playing.
Yeah.
So, yes, there's playoffs and hockey and stuff all over the place. But yes, please post that. Wade, final thoughts.
No, fun episode. Thanks for the shout out about the show, and Looking forward as I'm enjoying the playoffs, not necessarily team committed, but hockey committed, and it's been fun. Fun playoffs, a little different this year again, but yeah, everything's good. Just enjoying enjoying the hobby, enjoying my week. Excited to spend a couple days with you soon, Doc.
Yes. We'll make sure we have lots of posts and different things, but once those doors open, you won't hear from us till it's over. I know a number of people message us in. Once we get settled, we might be able to reply back. But if you tell us beforehand, hey, can you look for things? We can add it to lists. But once those doors open at 5, you won't hear from us till it's over.
Yeah,
it is amazing how busy these sales get.
Oh, yeah.
They're in there. It's
the checkout process sucks. That's the one thing that I always add to.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely do not disagree with that. But they do pretty well, but it's funny sometimes just to be in line with other people and look to see what they have or I mean, we'll have to keep track the number of times we go back through, if they have them this year, back through all the locker room nameplates. I think we went through that pile a dozen or more times.
Oh, at least.
But you know what? Again, those are cheap, easy things to collect. When they're $5 a piece at the sale, you're gonna grab a handful of them. Or like I try to find ones of players I have jerseys of. So it's like, you know what? I can put those together. So yes, well, it'll be a good time. But we will be back again next Thursday again to talk the what do you do in the off season, as it were. So please comment. We will share those. Put your name with them if you like that, and please continue to give us likes, subscribes on all those things. The numbers are continuing to climb. Share this podcast with others. If you'd like to come on, reach out. If you have topics, reach out as well. And we will see you back next time. It is the Dirty Laundry Game Worn Hockey Podcast. We'll see you guys all next week.